Hello again. We are back for my week of Guilty Pleasure Month. It's really hard for me to pick a legit guilty pleasure because most of the time when I enjoy a movie, I enjoy it unabashedly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know it's a bad movie. I don't care.
You used to do that with books as well. Remember when you were a kid?
Yes.
Grandma was like, can you tell me something you didn't like about this book? And you were like, no, because it's a bad.
It was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
100%. A+. So, okay, I had to go through and I had to think, okay, what movie is legit bad, like on a structural, acting, whatever level, but also it makes my heart happy.
Wow.
And I have chosen the film It Takes Two.
Is that really?
Okay.
That's the Mary-Kate Ashley Olsen one, right?
Yes, that's the Mary-Kate and
okay.
Ashley Olsen one.
Not to
All
be
right.
confused with Parent Trap.
Not to be confused.
Or Parent Trap.
Okay.
Not the older
It's
version.
more ridiculous than The Parent Trap. The Parent Trap...
Okay, that's why
Is
you
a
chose
better movie.
Okay, but okay.
The Parent Trap is messed up.
Parent Trap is a better movie.
Okay.
But like, two parents who go, I don't feel like we should be married
we shouldn't
anymore.
be married anymore. Divorce. And
I'll
then they
just
split
take
their
one
twins.
of our twins.
I'll take a twin. She
And
doesn't
you
even
have
know
the
she has
other.
a twin. What the fuck?
I know.
It's bad.
It's messed up.
Okay,
But-
but It Takes Two, they're literally just magically...
Identical strangers.
Identical strangers.
You gotta go with it.
Vincenzo.
Vincenzo.
Remember that guy?
Okay.
He was the bus driver.
I will
on-
tell you about It Takes Two.
Love
I
to
just,
Yeah,
okay.
remember he
Love
on
to-
Quick
was
Change? Quick Change.
It was in Quick
Love
Change.
it.
Okay, so It Takes Two.
Sorry.
You
It
have
takes two
to.
make a thing go right.
You have to really suspend your disbelief because
Well, it's a kid's movie.
there are these two children who are completely unrelated in the movie. There are twin sisters in real life, but they are in the movie. This one's an orphan over here, and this one's daughter of a rich, wealthy
So I have a face.
man over
You
here.
are gonna- You're like gesturing at my face.
Okay, so you have to just let it go. Just accept that there are these two girls who have nothing to do with each other, and they happen to look really identical. Just go with it.
And
Just-
I mean, the worst part is that they live right next door to
they
one
live.
another.
Well, they don't. They don't. The only reason that one is there and the other is there, okay, they're completely different lives.
But they both
Okay.
live in New
They
York.
both
They both live
really
well,
close to each
The
other.
Callaways are rich and fancy. They have a rich, fancy house in New York, but they go traveling. Alyssa's been at boarding school her whole childhood. Like, Alyssa's not in New York. Amanda's in New York. Amanda lives at the orphanage with Kirstie Alley.
Mhm.
Kirstie Alley loves
Kirstie Alley?
Amanda.
Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie, I think.
Okay.
You know her. She's the one she was on the
What is it?
Star Trek.
The talking thing.
Look who's
Oh,
talking.
yeah,
Who's
and she was
Talking.
in Look Who's Talking.
Oh, my brain went Bruce Willis movie.
And she is beautiful. She's got like these amazing eyes, and her hair is just so fluffy in this movie.
Bruce Willis?
And Bruce.
Oh, you're talking about him being
He's
the
the
voice.
baby.
I just automatically
Oh
think
yeah,
John
Bruce Willis was
Travolta.
the baby.
He's the baby.
I
Yeah.
know, but it just John Travolta's
was
like
there,
the
but then
person.
Bruce Willis. Okay,
I was just like,
okay.
Shit about John
So
Travolta.
she-
There's Bruce Willis.
The movie starts out explaining how these two children live their lives. You've got Amanda, who is an orphan, who lives with Kirstie Alley at the orphanage, and Amanda, Kirstie Alley wants to adopt her, but that's not how the
Right.
system works. And then Alyssa,
So then she goes to summer camp.
yeah, the whole orphanage gets to go to summer camp because the Callaways are,
Well, he
Um,
owned the...
yeah.
with his dead
He-
wife.
yes, his dead wife. Which,
Yeah.
his poor dead wife. Okay.
So Alyssa's daddy
Alyssa's-
owns the...
Who is Steve Gutenberg.
Yeah, Steve Gutenberg.
Steve Gutenberg is a wealthy man because when cell phones first started becoming a thing, he bought the air rights to it. He doesn't own one, but he, valued the air rights, so now he
Which
is a...
dated the fuck out
dated
of that
the
movie.
But
He was
now
like,
he
I
is-
don't use the damn
He
thing.
is nouveau riche. He has the house and the money and the child who has the boarding school because he bought all the
And who
air rights.
professionally plays
Right.
the piano.
And who has learned how to professionally, she can play Chopin. And
But he's like, oh, you're missing one thing in the whole
yeah,
wide world.
like
and it's
obviously
a mother.
you need a mother. And
Yeah.
here's the thing: he's dating the woman who she was on Friends. She was Ross's first wife, Carol. I know, and her name is Clarice. Clarice Kensington. I love that name.
Oh my
It's amazing.
goodness.
Alyssa
Miss Kensington.
and Clarice are not that far apart. They
Okay,
probably should
here's
have
the thing
thought that.
about The Parent Trap versus It Takes Two. I argue that Meredith in Parent Trap is Clarice, just a little more evil. Clarice is, I was born into wealth and daddy buys me things and that's just who I am. Meredith
She wants to slap a child in the face.
They both do.
She
They
literally
both hate these children.
threatens to... No. In this movie, she literally
Well, yes.
goes
There's-
like this.
There's some physical
and
abuse.
literally
So
goes to
they
hit
are-
a child in a church in front of
church in front of
100,000 people.
Witnesses, who cares? Child
And
abuse.
only-
Backhand.
And only because someone grabs her hand
Yeah.
and says, "Back off, Barbie,"
Yeah.
does she not slap
She
a
was
child
going to slap both of the children.
in the face.
Meredith is
At
worse,
least I
though.
get to
Meredith-
hit one of you.
Meredith is more conniving as far as businesswoman tactics. Meredith is very calculating. She is very...
I feel like it's
business
because I
sensey.
take Meredith more seriously than I do
Yeah,
Clarice.
Clarice, she's very...
Well, what do we know about Clarice the person? Because we know
Yeah.
Meredith is helping with the book and everything.
Steve Gutenberg says the whole thing about how she's very smart and she speaks so many languages and she works with me and blah, 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 blah. Who cares? The reason she is here is to be a potential fiance for Steve Gutenberg so that Kirstie Alley has an obstacle to overcome in the form of this blonde. Yes. And honestly, I think that she's the exact same in Parent Trap. It's the same function. It's the same character.
I mean, yeah, it's the same, like, oh, there's someone in the way, and I want my dad to get with this other lady.
Yeah.
But she's in the way.
Now, here's
well,
the
it's
thing.
this, and she wants to send him off to boarding school. That's always the fucking thing.
Always.
Well,
Child
rich
away.
people,
Rich
black
people.
people.
And, like,
Like, do people actually do that?
I want to
Do
have
rich
a
people
child,
actually
but-
do that?
well, I don't
what I
think...
mean?
I don't
They
think...
did that to Archer on Archer.
They did.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, he went to boarding
He
school.
went to boarding school.
Yeah.
Learned how to play lacrosse.
Well, it's always the villain that is
Yeah.
doing authority things when it's not their place. That's like, I hate you, so I'm going to send you off to boarding school. It's always that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you want complete access to the rich father because he's the one
right,
with the
right.
money.
He's giving his attention to the daughter, and he's loving the daughter more than me.
Yeah.
So off
Here's
you go.
the thing, though.
Here's
the thing about the two fathers. Okay, we got Dennis Quaid over here and Steve Gutenberg over here. I believe Dennis Quaid,
He's a better daddy.
well, I believe him to be more obviously a wealthy man as opposed to Steve Gutenberg, who in this movie is just so soft. Like, he's so nice and likable, but I don't buy him as a wealthy man. I just don't. And I think
Dennis
it's because...
Quaid likes cornbread and chili. What are you talking
Well,
about?
he likes cornbread and
but
chili,
he
but he
owns a
also
winery.
he owns the winery. He has Steve Gutenberg doesn't really do anything with his money. I mean, he's not a businessman. He
what
owns the air rights.
rich people-
Other people.
Well, they own
So
horses.
they go. Yeah, I like Steve Gutenberg in this movie. I like him a whole lot. The love story is really, really nice. I know you have to suspend so much disbelief in this movie. This is why it's my guilty pleasure. You have to accept these children
and of course,
look alike.
the way they meet, he
Yes.
has to save her.
Well, the children set it up. The children find out that they look like each other.
The children try to murder Kirstie. Is that what you're saying?
The children set it up where both Kirstie Alley and Steve Gutenberg are on horseback, and then they shoot. They have
they have a slingshot.
and they shoot the horse that Kirstie Alley is on.
And they try to murder Kirstie Alley.
She runs off the horse
She
gallop.
runs off screaming.
She could have
and then
died.
you have Steve
Help me!
Gutenberg
And then
save
Steve
the day.
Gutenberg. And he's wearing like the fluffy white shirt with the little vest, and he's got the horse, and it's very nice. Okay,
I didn't
It
know
is-
you liked Steve Gutenberg that much.
I mean,
but
Police
over
Academy.
Dennis Police
wearing
Academy.
jeans.
No.
Dennis Quaid
No,
wearing jeans
that's-
on a horse.
Steve
That scene in
Gutenberg.
Police Academy where he's
Yeah.
like, "Hi, Tower, you need help with something?" And I'm like, "I need help with something." Steve
Yeah.
Gutenberg. Remember that scene? The point is,
he is charming. And
he's so
is
cute. What? How'd you get? How about you get a little chuckle out of this? And he flings butter at her, and they have a food fight.
I know, but Dennis Quaid, like, as a dad,
Dennis
is
Quaid
a better dad,
is-
and that makes me see him as more attractive.
Well, that's the
You know
thing.
what I mean?
Dennis Quaid is an actually, like, I sent my daughter away to summer camp, but she
Right.
lives with me. I take care of her. She is my daughter. There's more of a rapport there. Whereas with Alyssa and her father, Roger, she's been off at boarding school. She's,
Right.
she's been brought up in, I'm high class and fancy, and I can play the piano.
And the whole thing is, like, he doesn't really know how to talk to her because he doesn't
Yeah.
spend that much time with her, and that's why he thinks that she needs a mom.
Yeah.
And it's like, or you could be a good dad.
Yeah, or you
your
could
sperm. You could do
That's
something.
the thing. He picked it right up. The girls switch places. Okay, they decide they're going to set up these two adults, and so they switch places so that they can better maneuver the situation. And
They need recon.
they need recon. They need to maneuver it.
They
And
need
so
intelligence.
Amanda, who is pretending to be Alyssa at this point, Amanda goes to bed, and Steve Guttenberg is talking to her about, hey, you're not being very nice to Miss Kensington. And he's like, wouldn't it be nice to have a mother? And Amanda, who is an orphan, I'll remind you, Amanda says, yeah, and it'd be nice to have a father, too. And then she realizes, oh, shit, I'm supposed to be your daughter.
Right.
And he is
but
like...
he takes it completely
Yeah, he's like,
personal.
I know, I haven't
know.
been here. I know what you're saying. I need to be a better dad. And I'm like, oh...
Thank God they had that problem, otherwise he'd have been like, what?
Yeah, he'd be like, what are you talking about?
Right.
So, yeah, they have that whole, rich little girl being emotionally neglected by her family. Not, not financially
Oh, that
neglected,
terrible
not
accent
educationally.
they give her the
Oh my
entire
God.
fucking movie.
Honestly, okay, Lindsay Lohan, as a child actress, was terrific.
Yeah.
Okay, Lindsay Lohan did a beautiful job in The Parent Trap, which is a remake. Daphne's never seen the
I
Haley
haven't
Mills
seen
one.
that already.
Oh, it's awful.
I didn't even
don't
know it was a
think
remake.
that they should be
Oh, yeah.
together. Maureen O'Hara punches him in the face. They divorced
Yeah.
for a reason.
I know he threw a hairdryer at it.
No, that's
in the
new
second
one.
one. In the
That's
second
in the
one,
new one. That's a Lindsay
Okay.
Lohan one.
yeah.
They had a bit of a more personal altercation in the previous one.
In the
They
first one,
edited
she
that.
punched him in the face.
Yeah.
And apparently this is part of her character, is that she's done that before. I don't think that domestic abuse is okay, even if you love each other. I don't think so. So, I disagree with The Parent Trap on a fundamental level. This one, they love each other because they had that moment, and then they talked, and then he really likes her because she's nice and kind and pretty. And she's like, he's nice and kind and pretty too. I like it. I like the love story in It Takes Two better than I like the story in A Parent Trap, because I think the parents in A Parent Trap were fucking dumb. Okay.
She's got opinions. Wow.
I
do.
mean, it is more about love in It Takes Two. My brain's mixing them up. The Mary Kate Ashley Olsen one, it is more about the love and the relationship that they have versus they spend a lot of time with the two girls and like Meredith and getting her away.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And there's multiple scenes in The Parent Trap where they're trying to get those two together because they know that there's chemistry.
Chemistry.
Chemistry? I meant to say the other movie. Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go and they try to get Steve Guttenberg like together with her like multiple times. There's multiple
Yes.
scenes with them together.
It's very
And
good. All the
there's
scenes.
more of a romance
Like,
there.
I get very involved the first time it's on horseback, and Miss Kensington calls and gets involved, and Diane leaves. And
Well, just to play devil's advocate, though. I mean, I'm just saying, in the previous film... But no, in the previous film, they were already a couple. They already met, they already
Yes.
fell in love, they already got married,
met,
they already
loved,
had
they
twins.
divorced like sane people should
So,
have.
you have
They
to...
separated the children like insane people do.
Right. But what I'm saying is, if you're trying to reset up your parents, they've already been
It's a
together
different dynamic
once.
than two people that
Whereas-
just now met.
But then again, you do have
Yeah.
to deal with the problem of what happened in their relationship and how do we get over that, and is that going to be better for you than this
Yeah.
new relationship? Yeah.
It's a different dynamic with the love story and how the children interact with what's going on with the adults. And I really like the whole let's try and set them up. They have that dinner scene at the camp, which okay, the children are at the camp because
That
the
scene
Callaways, it was a
always
charity
makes me
thing.
fucking hungry for mac
And cheese.
Every
They-
time I watch that movie, I just go mac and cheese.
The children are there because the Callaways run a camp, and it's the Callaway Foundation for Kids, and so the orphans are there at the camp having a summer camp because the rich family pays for it. You know,
That's my cat. What?
it's a charity thing.
Oh.
And so Roger Callaway, his family is footing the bill. You know, he's the main guy in charge of everything. And so he goes over to ask Diane if she wants to go have lunch. And she's like, I can't go have lunch. We have to go and do lunch. My kids have serving duty in the cafeteria, rec hall, mess hall,
Yeah.
whatever. Mess hall. And so she invites him to macaroni and cheese, and there's these big bowls, big silver bowls, like this big around, just macaroni and cheese piled to here, and they gotta serve it, and they start a food fight because Alyssa is pretending to be Amanda.
Right,
If
but
Steve
her
Guttenberg
dad
sees
is
Alyssa,
there, yeah.
They look
He
the
will-
same. What's
yeah.
going on here?
So she trips a little boy and he drops the
Yeah.
mac and cheese
Mac and
directly
cheese
on
goes
the
flying
Steve, Guttenberg's head.
And Kirstie Alley is laughing about it because it's kind of funny, and then he starts a food fight because he throws butter at her. It's so cute. Like their chemistry is adorable in this movie. It really is.
Well, because then immediately after that they jump in the water together, and then there's that whole intense little scene
where he's running and the wind is pulling at his shirt a little bit, and it's like, look at that shit.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Steve Guttenberg is a charming, sweet
I didn't know
man.
you liked Steve Guttenberg that much.
You know what I think it is? I'll tell you what I think it is.
Mahoney.
No, it's Chris O'Donnell.
Gross.
Oh, yeah,
It's Chris O'Donnell.
Yes, with the horse and the vest.
Yeah,
Probably.
It's the Three Musketeers. We've gone all the way
As a
back.
person in Police Academy, he's not the greatest. Why would you
he's
like
really
him?
not. Steve Guttenberg is attractive. He is an attractive man.
But he's a dickhead. I can't like him if he's going to be a
But
dickhead.
Roger Calloway is not a dickhead. Roger Calloway is a good man. He's a little bit of an asshole because he waits till the actual wedding to tell Clarice it's not going to work.
Right.
Clarice comes back and she's upset because he's had this moment with Diane. And Clarice is like, I'm going to lose my rich man. I have to keep my looks.
Let's get married
tomorrow because we love each other. And he just kind of goes along with it because he feels railroaded.
Well, he doesn't want to tell her, like, I guess another lady in the water.
Be a man, Roger. Tell her that's not going to work for me. And if you're not okay with us taking our time, we're just going to break it off right now. But he just kind of goes along with it. Like, okay, I guess we'll go get married.
And then, of course, he waits till the altar.
Until we're at the altar. We're standing in front of the priest in the church with everybody. He could have done this privately. He did not have to embarrass her in public like this.
Yeah, but
And
she deserves it.
She's an asshole.
And it feels good
she
for
is
us
a terrible
to watch
person.
her get
It
embarrassed.
is very
because
cathartic.
She literally shows her ass in front of everybody.
Well, the children do that, and I don't like that either. They redid it in Rugrats in Paris, that exact same scene.
I don't remember that.
In Rugrats in Paris, Chucky's dad is going to marry that awful French lady. And Chucky's like, no! And that's like his first word. And Chucky's dad is like, oh my god, Chucky's first word! Obviously, I can't get married to you. And she does the whole, how dare you embarrass me in front of the world kind of thing. And then Angelica steps on her dress and pulls the dress.
I remember that.
And yeah, it happens in Rugrats in Paris exactly like it happened in It Takes Two.
God, the only thing I remember about that movie was that the VHS tape with fucking orange. That's the only thing about that movie I remember.
I liked the Rugrats.
I was way too little.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It was okay. But yeah, the same scene got pulled. It was the wedding with the dress, and you pull it and she's wearing like the little buttons and the lady in Paris was wearing purple underneath, and Clarice, she's wearing white, just like a wedding
it's just
dress.
like a silky lingerie.
It's silky. It's
thing.
nice, you know.
My favorite failed wedding was from Arthur.
Oh yeah.
He's taking the
He's taking the cheese. Does he want some cheese? Yeah.
He's gonna murder you, Arthur.
have this scene is a common trope where you're literally at the altar and the other person's like, no.
Oh, you talking about The Graduate?
Yes.
Elaine!
Ben! I hate that movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's fine.
But
anyway,
it's a common trope. Is obviously the last point that you have to stop them is at the altar. They made fun of it in that Rebel Wilson
which is
movie.
dumb. You can get annulments immediately after.
Yeah, just because you got married doesn't mean you stay married. Like it's not.
What happens in Vegas gets annulled in Vegas.
Gets annulled immediately. So he did not have to wait till the literal wedding to tell him to tell Clarice, wait a second, I'm in love with someone else, which he has decided he's in love with Diane, which I'm okay with. They have good chemistry. It's adorable.
Well, because she's a very real person and she loves kids.
Yes.
Their whole connection is over the camp. That's why she gets excited about him. Is like, yeah, he's rich and everything, but he built this camp, which means that's
for my
everything
children.
that's important to
and
me.
And she loves
he has
Amanda.
A daughter, and obviously
and he has a daughter. He has a daughter.
Yeah.
So he's, there's a whole lot.
She's the best character in the movie.
Diane is amazing.
She's wonderful.
I love her. She steals the Jeep.
She steals the Jeep to go and rescue.
First off, why would the adoption agency come to the camp? These children are at summer camp. Let them come back from camp, and then you can adopt them out. You don't have to adopt them out while they're on vacation.
You don't know how it works.
I don't like
it. Some of that stuff is like emergency, like they do it like at the drop of a hat. Kind of thing.
I don't think so. This
I'm
other
just
family,
saying, like that might not be how adoption works.
Yeah, that's where the tension at the end comes in. Is that the children are trying to get everything worked out, but all of a sudden, Miss Kensington wants to run off and get married, and Amanda, who is Alyssa, gets kidnapped.
Adopted.
She gets adopted.
Buttkisses.
The Butkiss family, who are
Because,
terrible
last
people.
name is Butkiss.
And now Alyssa has been adopted by this family who are using these children for child slavery. I'm sorry, that's what they're doing. So hopefully there were some repercussions after the film.
Well, she literally said,
Diane threatens
I have nothing,
Yeah, I would love nothing more than to kill you before turning you over to social services. So fingers very crossed someone saves those children.
Yeah.
Because the Butkus family has adopted a tiny little workforce. And every day they pretend like it's a
Those
vacation.
people
Are you even
collect kids.
allowed-
They will take anybody.
Are you even allowed to adopt more than a few kids?
I don't know what the
Or-
rules
Yeah,
are.
I think you are.
I think you have to have enough room to house them all.
I mean,
I don't know
isn't
how
that
big their house
suspicious
is.
if they have
It's
like
extremely
10
suspicious.
fucking kids.
They have like 10 children that they've adopted, and they take them.
I mean, I know like rich people like Angelina Jolie, they adopt so many kids, but that's because they're fucking
They can take care of
bajillionaires
that
and they
many
can
kids.
take care of them.
Yeah, so like, where were the red flags? Is what I'm
Right.
asking, and especially that neighbor who acted like he knows. Why didn't you report this shit? Did
Right,
you
that's
report this
gross.
shit? What's going
Yeah.
on? Like, yeah, the guy, his name is Harry Buttkiss, because haha, he takes the children to the salvage yard. He works at a salvage yard, and these children are wearing little onesies, little overall jumpsuits, and not onesies, you know what I mean, little denim
Little
overalls.
overalls, yeah.
How young are these children?
They're tiny. They're like 10 years old, and they're working like
in a junkyard, like, working for free,
and
basically.
it's uncool.
Yeah.
It is extremely
Uncool.
uncool. And Diane
That's the
needs
word for
to
that.
rip them right the fuck apart.
But then Diane shows up in a fucking helicopter
She does.
and saves the day.
Well,
and
because Vincenzo, who is the butler for the Callaways, Vincenzo found out that Alyssa was not Alyssa. Alyssa's Amanda. She shows him her scars, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're not Alyssa."
or he just believes it immediately.
Yeah,
You
well,
know
because
what I
all
mean?
these scars, like
I
he's
mean,
like,
that's a pretty big
That's,
scar.
he's known her whole life. He knows every time she got a bump and a bruise. And here's this child being like, I have a nail through my foot. I had a Roman candle in the back of my neck. I had this and that and this. And he's like, oh my God, you're totally not the kid. And
Right.
so she convinces him to go talk to Diane, and he gets Diane involved. Diane has to call Lou because the car breaks down.
I feel like this
One
is way
thing
too
after
complicated
another.
for people to follow.
Oh my goodness.
If they haven't seen this movie, you're like, and then Lou. In the
Who is
words
the
of Miss
computer?
Allie, Lou who? Because like, what the hell?
It's
Oh, yeah.
a good
It-
movie.
it's-
It's just a little on the cringy side because of
The suspension of disbelief.
It is. You have to suspend
you
so much.
You have to believe
You
it.
just have to go
and then
with
the
it.
the little acting, they're doing their damnedest.
Well, yeah,
But-
like
They're like 8, aren't they? Like
I
10?
honestly
Oh,
cannot
God.
tell the Olsen twins apart. There are people who can.
Wow.
I cannot. They look so much alike. They,
Right.
I don't know
I
which
can
one
now
is
that
which.
they're older.
Now
Because
that
they
they're
both have
older.
like different aesthetics, and one of them looks like a smoker or something, and so they look a little bit different.
Well, as they
But like
when they were
as
kids,
kids,
like one of them had
I
a freckle,
fucking can't.
and I don't know which one is which. I'm sorry. They
Yeah,
act
but
a
a
lot
lot of times
alike,
they
and
cover
they
that up.
But the kid that's playing Amanda, she's doing like this really hard stereotypical New York accent, and her little mouth is just. You can tell she's really fighting it to get those sounds out. Come on, Diana, I ain't gonna hurt it. And she's like, her whole lips.
I didn't have a problem with that as much as I did the little English accent that she's got going on, where it's
I
like,
am quite petite and polite.
yeah, everything is enunciated and it makes her talk very slowly, and it's like, oh, fucking
Yes.
kill you. I will punt you across
Whatever
this
did you
grass.
have in mind? Checkers, dodgeball. But that's when she's pretending to be the
I
fancy
know,
one.
but it's just
Not.
it's a little bit hard to watch.
I think the Olsen twins were adorable in this movie. I think they're not as good as Lindsay Lohan at that same age.
but also, I think they were younger than Lindsay Lohan whenever
they
she
were.
did.
Lindsay Lohan was 12. These kids were what, 8?
Yeah.
Well,
10?
Lindsay Lohan had to play 2 completely different
Yeah,
characters.
yeah.
And in this one,
I
they are
totally
playing- they had
thought
to-
she was a fucking twin. But
I
was
did
little.
too.
Because I was like, well,
It's
Mary Kate
really,
Ashley
really
Olsen,
good.
they're fucking twins.
Exactly. The
You know?
the technology in that original, well, not the original, in the Parent Trap,
The original.
not the original. The technology in the original was fantastic for its day.
For its day, yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Also, what is her name?
Haley Mills.
Natalie Richardson?
Natasha.
Natasha. Yeah, I love
Richardson. She was so beautiful, and she was so talented, and I
And
just
she does really well. And in the Parent
Yeah.
Trap, she's like this like
and I
fashion
like
person.
Elizabeth James. I like the character Elizabeth James. I don't know if I like her more than Diane. I think I like Diane more.
Yeah, Diane is more of she's
Yeah.
more of a real person.
And then do you like Chessie more than Vincenzo?
Oh fuck, I love
I
Chessie.
love Chessie.
I don't know her actual real name. We always just call her
Yeah.
Chessie. Even in Rocket Man,
Mhm.
we just call her Chessie. I don't know.
It's Chessie. I
Her
just
name is Chessie. She's perfect.
she is perfect. Her character is great. Her
In
dialogue
the
is
second
great.
Parent Trap, we should
In the
probably
second,
clarify.
yes, in the 90s Parent Trap.
The nanny.
8 pounds,
nanny.
11 ounces. That's how I look at her. It's perfect. Oh my God,
That scene
she's
makes
so
me tear
cute.
up.
I love
It's
her
so
to
dumb.
pieces. It does. She realizes that Lindsay Lohan is the twin.
is
she
the
realizes
other twin
it's-
that she's never seen before.
It's Hallie.
Or, you know.
it's not
I
Hallie.
am
it's,
Annie.
it's Annie, not Hallie, and she starts crying. And Chessie is adorable. I think I like Chessie more than
I was like,
Vincenzo.
what the fuck is happening?
Like,
Do you want something to eat? I'll go make you anything you want. I'm just gonna wipe up everything you
everything in
forgot.
the kitchen. So yeah, the Parent Trap, the Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap is amazing. Like, hands down, that one's not a guilty pleasure. That one I'll fight you for. That one's really
Yeah.
good. This one, It Takes Two, is definitely a guilty pleasure because I have to justify
Well, it's
so
just so damn
much.
cringy and
It's so bad. Like,
But the costuming is great.
Yeah.
The locations are great. The
It's a- I
cinematography.
love
the
this movie.
costuming.
I love it
Yeah.
so
and
much.
It Takes Two
Yes.
is great. No, it
It
is
took
not.
so
It's-
much time.
Clarice
and effort.
has little flipper business
Yeah.
on her tits. The costuming is not great.
She's
Which
got
part?
like these.
Oh, you're talking about the very
she's
beginning.
got
I forgot
like
about
this,
that.
And it's
Okay,
like,
that part's awful.
yeah.
But aside from that,
well, and then her haircut.
I was thinking
it's
about like
supposed to be
Alyssa's
bad.
dresses and stuff.
She could have done something else. That was done just for comedic effect. A rich woman is not going to have a haircut that looks like that.
Right.
She's not going to.
I don't think so.
The,
And also,
Amanda spit gum
why
into
can't she
Clarissa's
wear a
hair.
wig on
And
her fucking wedding day?
she could. She did not have to
No
do that.
one else would
and
know.
like I said, a rich woman is not going to let her head look like that. There's no way.
Also, what fucking hairdresser doesn't know you can get it out with fucking peanut butter?
Yeah.
And they just cut it off because, haha, you
Yeah.
have gum in your hair and now you have short hair.
Haha, you have to cut your hair.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter or ice, I think, works too.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. There are ways to get gum out of your hair without
But did
destroying
they
your
know
head.
that in the 90s?
Yes,
I
I'm pretty sure.
assume so.
So, yeah, overall...
But rich people that don't like children, they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Could've
that's
feathered
what
it.
they're trying to
They
say.
could've
Maybe
layered it.
with- maybe.
Feathering or something?
They're okay. I'm just saying that they could have fixed it. This movie, It Takes Two, I can acknowledge that it's bad. film. I can acknowledge the flaws in this film. It is so cringe, and it is so, but it's so nice.
It's a good time.
It's a good
They're
time.
trying really
I
hard.
love the
Yeah.
love story. The love story is really nice. I like
And Diane.
the characters.
Diane is pretty much
is a
the
great
only, like,
character. I like Vincenzo
good
too.
reason. Well, I know.
I do like Vincenzo.
But like, out of all the characters, like who I go back for is Diane.
Yes.
Because she's just a real human
She's
being.
down to earth. She's beautiful. She's kind.
Well, you can
she's-
you can see that she
Yeah.
has a really big heart.
Mhm.
You know, so.
So,
Anyways.
like, the writing is not the best thing ever, but there are these moments of gold. Just, it's gorgeous, okay? I recommend it. I recommend it at least once because my heart, okay? My heart.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I say about It Takes Two. And Parent Trap, definitely show it to your children. It's hilarious.
It's better. It's
so
better
good.
film.
Like, it is objectively a better film.
Yep.
I disagree with the romance, though. I don't think they should be together. She punched him in the face.
In the first
In
one.
the first one. Yes, but I
Anyways.
disagree. I don't think it's funny. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for being here with this. You know, this. I like Guilty Pleasure Month. I'm having fun.
Yeah, this is fun.
I have to
Yeah.
justify my beliefs.
Yeah. And it's
I
hard
promise
to
it's
pick,
good.
too, yeah.
And it is because I can't pick a movie.
Because like I talked about Rocket Man a minute ago. I would pick Rocket Man for mine, but I just can't because I feel like you can't describe that fucking movie.
Yeah.
That scene where he's testing to be an astronaut and he flies through the wall.
There's so much physical
It's
comedy.
the best thing in like it's
Get
so
out of the
funny.
way!
Right. It's so funny, but I can't describe that. You
Yeah.
have to just watch
You
it.
have
So
to
I
see
can't
the
put
movie.
that on
Harlan
my-
Williams blasts
Harlan
through
Williams.
a wall, careening out of control.
But it's not
There's a
funny.
line of
you don't
nuns
understand why it's
and,
funny.
like,
Because it's him just
he's-
screeching
he's-
covered in drywall.
He's
It's
screaming.
ugh. Anyway, so yeah, Guilty Pleasure Month has been kind of a challenge for us
It
to
has.
kind of
to pick the right movie
Yeah.
for this because like I said there are movies that I know are genuinely awful but I love them. Like
Right.
honestly, no one agrees with me. Repo the Genetic Opera.
Oh God, no.
No.
one
No.
agrees with me.
There's
No.
good bad and then there's
And
bad
then there's
bad.
bad. They
That is a
think
bad
it's
bad.
bad.
This is bad.
I think it's so bad. It's
No,
good
the only
bad.
good part is the
No.
grave robber guy,
grave
and that's not
robber.
enough to make me keep watching a movie.
And the songs are good. I like the songs.
I don't care that Giles from Buffy.
I
is
do
in
Alyssa
it.
like
Vega
Giles from
cannot
Buffy,
save
too.
anything. No.
Okay, okay, that's not a Guilty Pleasure Month because they won't let me. They don't agree.
No, it's awful.
That's just a bad movie.
That's just genuinely
But
bad.
hum me one of the songs. Don't, because you will.
I
Don't,
could.
because
Like,
it's awful.
I'm this close to being grave robber.
No,
Oh my
just
goodness.
don't.
Okay,
Bad
we
movie.
won't. We're
Bad
fine.
movie.
We won't talk about that one. Next week it's still May. We got one more
Whose
Guilty
turn is
Pleasure
it?
Month. I think it's your turn.
Your turn?
No, you did.
I can't remember.
I
No,
don't-
it
we'll
is your
have to
turn.
look
It
at
is your
I think
turn.
it's your turn.
Oh,
Okay,
I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. We'll have to come up with another theme for the month after that.
Yeah, let us
We'll go
know
back
in the
to
comments
regular
below
movies.
any other themes we should be doing. We're thinking about doing like a sequel September because we have a list of movies that are better as sequels.
There are
so.
a handful.
But yeah,
We're
any
gonna
other
do
themes? Let us know in the comments
Patriotic
below.
July.
Patriotic July.
Patriotic July.
America.
Justice July.
Justice July.
Anyways,
Yes.
okay.
We've got vague ideas about where we want to go.
Yep.
We just like talking movies.
Mhm.
So that's what we're here for.
Movies,
Yeah.
and also my cat.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for being here. Leave us a comment. And we'll be here next week.